Welcome to Sweet Home Chicago Sports. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Bears 2025 draft. The Bears made some smart trades, they stayed patient, and they came away with some real weapons for Ben Johnson's new offense. Let's break it all down. Going into the draft, the Bears' top priorities were running back, defensive tackle, and an edge rusher. Secondary needs, offensive tackle, tight end, slot wide receiver, cornerback, and a safety. And then the depth and kind of developmental needs were offensive line help, so offensive guard, center, and then a linebacker. We'll look more into this later, which ones the Bears addressed, which ones they really didn't, and why that might have been. Let's take a look at some of the draft day trades made by the Bears this year. 3 trades total, 2 to the Bills, 1 to the Rams. First one, the Bears traded back from that 41st overall spot. They picked up the 56th overall, 62nd overall, and the 109th, and they gave away the 41st, 72nd, and 240th, a 7th round pick there. With those picks, the Bears got Ozzie Trapilo, the offensive tackle, probably targeting someone like that at the 41st anyways, and really got someone somewhat similar. Their guy wasn't, whoever their guy was at the point, wasn't really there at 41, so they're able to trade back, pick up some better picks. And then they picked up Shamar Turner with that 72nd pick. And then with the 109th, they were able to flip that in a separate deal back to the Bills. As we go here in trade 2, they trade that 109th pick for the 132nd and 169th picks. So picking up a couple picks there, they used those picks on Ruben Hippolyte and Za Frazier. And then their third trade with the Rams, they traded the 148th pick for the 195th and a 2026 4th rounder. So looking back at a draft day trade recap, they started with the 41st pick, a 2nd rounder, 72nd, a 3rd rounder, 148th, a 5th rounder, and a 240th in a 7th rounder. With those 4, they traded away, and they end up with the 56th, a 2nd rounder, 62nd, a 2nd rounder, 132nd, a 4th rounder, and 169th, a 5th rounder, 195th, a 6th rounder, and they picked up a 4th rounder in 2026. So they trade 4 for 6, pick up 2 extra guys, and are able to unload their 7th round spot there in what they gave away, as well as a 5th rounder. So not like they're giving away much better picks for the ones they're getting back. So really great job by Ryan Poles in the front office with the draft day stuff. It's known that trading back's a good option anyways, especially when you're not sure about the guy that you're picking or your guy's not there. So love what Ryan Poles was able to do with those trades. Now let's get into the Chicago Bears draft picks. We'll start off with the first round, number 10 overall, Colston Loveland, tight end out of Michigan. I know it was a bit of a surprise here. A lot of people thought Tyler Warren, the number 1 ranked tight end, he would be the one to go. Bears saw something in Colston Loveland that they really liked, and it's quite possibly something that Ben Johnson loved as well, and it's going to probably be his ball skills, his catching skills, and just his catching radius. That's definitely his strength, and he's also a very good route runner. He can run a lot of different routes. He's shown that at Michigan, so that's something that's going to be really fun for Ben Johnson's offense. The blocking is the thing that's probably a weakness of his, but really excited about this pick at number 10. In general, he's got a very high ceiling and can be a threat in the red zone, in the open field, something that this Bears team is going to love as a weapon. Pick number 39, Luther Burden, the wide receiver out of Missouri. A bit of a surprise, but if you're understanding Ben Johnson's scheme and loving the offensive weapons that they're picking here in the couple of first and 2nd round picks here, he's just an explosive player, especially after the catch. Great playmaker. Had a little bit of a down year at Missouri last year, but not as certain if that's exactly his fault. His top weaknesses that probably effort and route consistency, but it seemed like he might have just got a little bit bored, I guess, at Missouri last year. We'll see. He's definitely a 1st round talent, and they're picking him up here in a 2nd round spot. Second round pick that they had, Ozzie Trapilo. When they traded back, they picked up the offensive tackle out of Boston College. Great pass protector. Maybe not as great in the run game, but definitely something that is going to give that offensive line some good depth. So love the pick here, something the Bears needed. Another one, their other second round pick, 62nd overall. Another need addressed here with defensive tackle, something that can be a bit of a menace on the defensive end, on the defensive line. His top strength is his motor, non-stop motor, very good first step. Top weaknesses, lacks a little bit of length. He's not the biggest guy, and maybe just finishing out rushes consistently. But the general thought is this is a high energy disruptor, and he brings the effort, something that the Bears really, this is a great address to the need that they had on the defensive line. Now as we drop off to the 4th round, pick number 132, Ruben Hippolyte out of out of Maryland, still in the Big Ten. This is one that is someone the Bears fans were not big on, and a lot of people were not big on. This is a guy that maybe some people had as an undrafted guy even, so definitely maybe a bit of a reach here, and a linebacker, which wasn't necessarily a need. He's definitely speedy. He's got very good side to side in speed and instincts. So maybe something that the Bears saw in him that they're going to use him a particular way. So, I mean, from the outside, we can't necessarily say it's a bad pick. But the general thought is that this is more of a depth linebacker who maybe shouldn't have gone this high. 5th round, pick number 169, Zav Frazier, the cornerback. Love this pick out of UTSA. The thing that's surprising to me about him is he's 6'3". He is a very big cornerback, but he's also long, he's fast, and he's shown the ability to be a pass disruptor and create interceptions. He's a bit old, but in his technique is maybe a little bit raw. He's a little bit of a late bloomer, but overall, I love it. Love it here in the 5th round, and he's got some very good upside, especially based on his size and speed. In the 6th round, the Bears took Luke Newman, offensive guard out of Michigan State, so providing some offensive line depth, and he's got the ability to play multiple positions, which is something the Bears really liked. He can play center, he can play guard. Very experienced and smart. Not many penalties from Luke Newman. And he's not necessarily a guy that's going to thrive in space, but at a guard and a backup guard position here in the 6th round, definitely like it. Does have plenty of room to improve as a developmental lineman. Better in zone schemes and kind of more depth piece, but like the pick. Good 6th round pick here to provide some offensive line depth. And then finally in the 7th round, the Bears do address the running back position with Kyle Monaghay out of Rutgers. The one very interesting thing that popped out to me is that he didn't have a fumble at Rutgers since 2021 in 669 rushes. That is the most rushes in FBS with 0 fumbles in that time span. So great ball security. Not the biggest guy, but he's got great balance. He's quick. He's tough. He's not the best blitz protector. Not the speediest, but he is quick, but not the speediest. And he's not the best protector of blitzes. He's not the greatest catch threat, but early down runner. Has some elusiveness that's a little bit surprising. In the 7th round, it's a very low risk here. Probably slots in as the 3rd in the Bears depth chart at running back, so not necessarily one of the high guys that they have, but they still have DeAndre Swift and Roschon Johnson, so it's not like they really, really needed a running back, especially one that they would be reaching for. Overall, on the Bears draft, a couple of the things that I liked. They were not going to overdraft, and they were not going to give up too much to trade up for someone like Ashton Jeanty, which it seemed like in the beginning, a lot of people weren't as high on him, and then all of a sudden you got all the, maybe they're going to trade up for Jeanty. Maybe they're going to trade up for maybe an offensive tackle. Maybe they're going to trade up for Jeanty was the one I kept seeing, and then he didn't fall, and the Bears didn't trade up. I don't think that's necessarily something that Bears fans should be sad about. They didn't give up anything by moving up for a running back, which we all know is a position that is not the highly as touted position as of right now in the NFL. And they do have other guys at those positions with DeAndre Swift and Roschon Johnson who can get it done. That's just, sometimes it's not there. They probably would have loved him if he would have fallen, but he didn't. And they didn't give up too much to reach I love that they traded down, whether it's because their guy wasn't there or because they're just accumulating more picks, and they accumulated a 4th rounder next year out of all this, turning 4 into 6. So that was very good, very well done by Ryan Poles in the front office on that front. The final piece I love for Bears fans is they did get some fun pieces for Ben Johnson's new offense. Honestly, if they would have picked, I don't know, an offensive tackle and an edge rusher or defensive tackle in these first couple picks, you would have been like, does that really fit Ben Johnson? I don't know. No, they got 2 playmakers, 2 guys that are going to score some points in the NFL, in Colston Loveland and in Luther Burden. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun for Bears fans to watch. I mean, right, the one negative, maybe they didn't really address the edge rusher position, but you don't have to address everything through the draft. I'm thinking they have a plan, and if their guys really weren't there that they were ready to draft and that the guys that they liked, that's fine. If you made it to the end of the video, let me know what you thought of the Bears draft in the comments. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you'd like to see going forward in these videos. Appreciate it. Go Bears.